Hello everyone, and welcome to starting a new sketchbook with me. It is an art alternatives. It's been in my desk for a while. I think it was sent to me by a college or something for a class, and I just ended up not using this one and using a different one. And yeah, so I'm gonna start using it, but of course, as some of you know, I've been known to paint my sketchbooks before starting them to give them a vibe. For this one, we're going with the third book of Gravity Falls, since I'm back in my Gravity Falls era ever since the Book of Bill came out. So that's what we're going for. So let's get into it. This is actually going to be a pretty short video, shorter than usual, because it didn't take me that long to finish this. Probably because I wasn't going as detailed as I did my last sketchbook, but I am so happy with how this turned out. I just had to paint it a flat color and then paint on the details. The lettering was a little bit hard because I have terrible handwriting, but when I'm painting, I try to think of words not as words or numbers not as numbers. They're just a design that I have to copy, and for some reason that helps. I have no idea why. Probably just because I write wrong. I hold a pencil wrong. I don't know if that's because I have Ehlers-Danlos or because I'm autistic, but I've never been able to hold a pencil right, and that's actually a little strange for someone who's an artist, but I'm still good at it, so there's that. I also drew on a lot of details, and I think that helped because I used posca pens instead of painting with regular paintbrushes, and that helped a lot for the lines because for animation, everything has like these dark outlines almost because it's a cartoon and not realism, whereas realism, everything's blended in evenly depending on the shadows, but in cartoons they're not really focused on the shadows as much as they are in realism. And just so you know, it's supposed to have 6 fingers. If you've never seen Gravity Falls, the person who writes the journal has 6 fingers, so don't come at me like my mom who's like, you drew an extra finger. But that was actually a joke because she said which one's the middle finger, and I just thought she was confused as why there was an extra finger, but she was actually making a joke and I just didn't get it. Story of my life. Anyway, the poscas came through so hard in this though. I really don't think I would have been able to do it without them because painting hands is hard enough, but like it's weird. It doesn't have normal anatomy. So I feel like I would have struggled with the hands a lot if I had to paint them with a brush. So the posca pens really came in handy. I'm so glad that Amazon Prime had them on big sale because poscas are usually really expensive, but this made it so much easier. Hashtag not sponsored. I am not sponsored, but Posca, if you want to sponsor me, I'd appreciate that very much. And I'm just so happy with this final product because I literally had this outside drying, and my dad's like, why do you have a book outside drying? Well, that's not, why do you have a book outside? And I was like, it's drying. And he's like, your book's drying? Did you get it wet? Did you destroy it? And I'm like, no, I painted it. And he didn't believe me. So that actually made me feel good because it looks exactly like the journal you'd buy at Barnes & Noble. And I was so proud of it. Also, while I was doing the details in the back, I noticed that the square in the line looks exactly like Flatland, which is a movie on YouTube, and that's actually what Bill Cipher is based on, and I never connected that before. Here, I'll show you a clip.
I can tell with a glance how many people are to your right and to your left, and there's nothing easier than a glance.
What is this left and right?
And how could you see the line? The inside of anything?
Left, right? You must mean backward and forward.
No, not so.
Exhibit these directions to me.
I can't. I mean, unless you step out of your line altogether.
Out of my line?
Out of the world?
Out of space?
Well, yes. Out of your world and into the greater plane of 2 dimensions, where all is plane and you can move in 4 directions.
If you can't show this or describe this to me,
Then go away!
Hasn't it occurred to you that you could move in some other direction, towards which your side is facing?
What?
never.
What do you mean by side?
There is before and behind.
Nothing more.
Fine. Let me show you. Here, I'm going to move into your world. Here I come. There. Can you see me now?
Yes?
But
You're only a point.
Well, to you I'm only a point, but in fact I moved into Line Land. Now, I'm going to continue to move, and from your perspective, I'm going to vanish. What did your majesty say now?
Charlatan!
tricks! Tricks!
Come back.
How did you do that?
I moved out of Line Land.
If
Events?
you had any sense, the smallest particle...
You ask me to believe that there's another world? You say there's another motion besides forward and backward.
But when I ask you to show it, all you can do is babble and practice magic tricks.
You must be a madman. Or
Anyway, that is one of the most complicated movies I've ever seen because it goes over the first, second, third, fourth dimension and how lines would see each other versus the second dimension where you'd only see a line. It is so hard to explain, but that's what Bill Cipher is based off of because he could only see up, and so everybody thought he was blind because his eye was in the center, so he was flat. I don't know, there's a better video to explain it. It's very complicated, but that's what it reminded me of, is on the back, and I felt like it was almost like an Easter egg to Line Land and Bill Cipher's home planet. But I don't know how the journal guy, Stanford, would know that. I didn't want to say his name because I get Stanford and Stanley mixed up. That's why I did that pause. But I don't know if he knew his home planet. Anyway, I've been thinking way too much on this ever since I read the Book of Bill. But here it is. Hi everyone. We have the final copy here. I love how it turned out. It looks so good. It looks like the one you buy from Barnes & Noble. Not the realistic one that's on eBay for a lot of money that I do not have. So I made my own. And it looks like I plucked it straight out of Gravity Falls because of the straight black lines. Give it that cartoony vibe because in real life we don't have straight black lines like that because nothing has a straight edge exactly like that. And it's blended in the shadows. And why am I explaining art too? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked how this turned out too. And tell me how you guys decorate your sketchbooks. Do you use stickers? Do you use paint? And maybe help give me ideas for my next sketchbook. Though I doubt I'll use them right now because it's gonna take me a while to finish this bad boy. I'm definitely gonna seal it because I throw my sketchbooks around way too much and they go in my bag, and sometimes when I get frustrated I just whip them. So thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. If you like the video, subscribe for more art content. I'd really appreciate it. And remember everyone, stay weird. Bye.